Hello. It is so great to have the opportunity to pop in and just say hi. I hope you and yours are doing well. I know summer is here. It seems like the month of May actually flew by pretty quickly, but I did want to say hello and to give you an update about what we're working on with the Heart to Heart Foundation. In case you don't know, my name is Sheila Caldwell. I'm the president and founder of the Heart to Heart Foundation. Our nonprofit organization is located in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We serve the entire state of South Carolina and the Charlotte metro area, although now with an expanded online presence that seems to be growing every day. We have people who follow us all over the country. So wherever you're watching this from, hi. It's really, I wish I could see you, but it's good to have an opportunity to give you this update. So, with the month of May, we had a lot of great things going on. One of the things you may have seen through our website or our social media feeds was a campaign that we did called Get a Mask, Give a Mask. And you may ask yourself, what does a heart health educational organization who's really focused on prevention and screenings and the early diagnosis of heart disease, what do they have to do with face masks? And the answer is really kind of simple. When you consider that the same people who have the worst outcomes from COVID 19 and are more susceptible to it are the same people that we talk to, it kind of makes sense. The people with heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, smokers, these are all people that are having worse outcomes. The minority communities, these are all communities that we serve with heart health education and screening programs. And so it just made sense to launch the campaign. We collaborate and we network with a lot of other nonprofit organizations and agencies in our area. And through having those conversations with them, one of the things that we kept hearing again and again was the need for masks because they needed masks for their staff and their volunteers. That makes sense. But they also needed masks for the population that they served. A lot of these organizations may be serving the homeless community. It may be providing food. It may be a shelter. It may be working with children in a daycare for low income moms. And they needed masks. And this was not something in their budget at the first of the year. It wasn't in anybody's budget the first of the year. So we decided that we needed to be a part of that solution for our community. And we launched this campaign. And we were able to provide masks to those organizations who reached out to us for those. And through the generosity of donors, especially our Red Heart Mamas, ladies, I cannot thank you enough. We had a couple of our Red Heart Mamas who were extra, extra generous. They want to remain anonymous, but they know who they are, and we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. We also received a $1,000 grant from the Walmart over in Fort Mill, South Carolina. So there's my friend Kimberly there. She's one of our Red Heart Mamas too, and and she helped us get that grant from Walmart to provide face masks and organizations that we provided masks to. Here's a picture that I took with Nancy Landerman from the Salvation Army here in York County, dropping by some masks. And I'll go back to the picture of my work table. One of the things, at the first of the year, because Heart Month is in February, we had already ordered a lot of our heart health educational materials for the year. That helps us save a lot of money. And we try to be really good stewards of the donations that we receive. So here we have all of this educational resources. However, because of COVID, so many of our large events that we had planned for were canceled. So we thought, okay, what can we do? And we wanted to do this as an outreach. And as you all know, I think last year we distributed about 10,000 of our heart health educational bags. And so we used this as an opportunity too for those that had gotten masks and those that we donated masks to. And for the kids, we had a special bag just for them. We were able to share our message, and that for us is very, very important. And so we are in the process now. We have a couple more hundred. I think we have like 500 of the children's masks left, and we have 200 of those designated for Community Cafe. And we'll be donating some out at the Catawba Indian Nation and looking for some other groups that may need some child size masks, really for elementary school age. That we have left, but our volunteers are putting those together next week and we'll be distributing those. So by the time we're done with this campaign, which will be wrapping up within the next week, we will have helped provide um, 700 masks for women, men, and children in our community. And that is huge. So a big thank you to Southern Fried Chicks and also to Charlotte Safeware, both companies located in York County and women owned businesses. Thank you all for helping us get those masks. If you need masks for your organization, your church, your business, your community group, I know those ladies will make those available to you on a bulk basis. Feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to share their contact information with you. So that was one project in May. The other big project in May that you may have seen is that the week after Mother's Day is actually National Women's Health Week. And typically, this time of the year, we're very busy. We're doing health fairs, we're doing community events, we're doing corporate events. We do a lot of lunch and learns. I do a lot of speaking and teaching. We do a ton of screenings. And this year, of course, everything changed. So we tried to figure out what we could do instead. And so what we did is we took our lunch and learns and we did for that week, we did a different lunch and learn every day. And it was a lot of fun. During National Women's Health Week, we had a different topic every day at lunch. And then on Thursday evening, we actually did one of our special doctor chat series with Dr. Susan Dimchek, who's a local gynecologist, and we talked about a lot of women's issues. So the great news is that all of those videos, if you miss them, is actually on our um, health and wellness channel on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, you can search the Heart to Heart Foundation. Make sure you subscribe because every time we post a new video, then you'll know that the new video is there, and we are producing more and more new videos. And as I mentioned, one of the series that we do is called the Doctor Chat series, and that is a program that we used to do in the community locally where we would bring a doctor in and it would be really kind of like a panel. I'd ask them questions and we would talk, about different topics, and then we would open it up to a live studio audience and they would ask questions. And unfortunately, because of COVID, we're not able to do that program in person. So we are taking it online. We did a program at the end of April with Dr. Sushil Singhi from Carolina Cardiology, and we wanted to talk about that correlation between COVID-19 and people with heart disease. And one of the things that we really wanted people to understand is that we have a lot of Americans with heart disease. We also have a lot of Americans who have it and they don't know that they have it until something happens. So it wasn't any surprise to us that so many people were having those issues because we know what the numbers are. We know what the country's heart health is. And so we wanted people to know how to take care of themselves and their families, what they could do to really take care of their heart health. And if you missed that, that is actually over on our YouTube channel. So, another thing that happened during the month of May, I was scheduled to be a keynote speaker at a very large health fair. And unfortunately, because of COVID-19, they had to cancel. And they reached out to me and the other speakers and they said, would you be willing to put your presentation on video so we can still share it? And I thought, heck, what a great idea. Something that we wanted to do anyway. So we did. And we sent it down to them. This is also on our YouTube channel. It's called 5 Steps to a Healthier Heart. And you'll find some other videos there on our YouTube channel as well that you can watch. So please feel free to go over there and watch that. So that's what we worked on during the month of May. Other things that we worked on the month of May, of course, is within our Red Heart Mamas group. And if you are not a member of our Red Heart Mamas group, that is our women's advocacy group. We have a private Facebook group, and we're working on some modules and things to go in to help train our women how to share our message and how their family can be heart healthy. And the biggest thing I want people, that I want women to know, is just how incredibly inspirational they are, and how influential they are, not just in their own families, but in their own community. And we want women to understand just how resilient and empowered and audacious and luminous they really are. And it is that spirit with which we hope that we can make a difference in our community and in our community's health and wellness. Other things that we've been working on like crazy is our back to school block party. And I know you haven't received an update recently on this. And the reason being is our team has been working behind the scenes to basically reinvent this event for this year. With COVID 19, we have to take the CDC protocols and guidelines into consideration to make sure that our volunteers and our families are safe, and we've had to retool the event. The event is going to be on Saturday, August the 1st. We are still going to have it at the Rock Hill Galleria, except it's going to be on the outside. This will be a drive through event. Parents who have pre registered their child will have some same day registration available as always. Thanks to Healthy Blue South Carolina, we have 2,000 book bags. Right now, what we're working on is to raise the funds so that we can provide a basic back to school supply kit for those bags. Because whether the kids are going back in the classroom or they're going to be working from home, they're still going to need school supplies. And that book bag with the new school supplies can seem like a little bit more of normal for that child. And so we do have sponsorship opportunities. That information is below, so feel free to check that out. If you're a company and you would like to become one of our companies with Heart Champions, whether you're renewing or you're new, we would love to have you. And your contribution will help us fund this for 2,000 kids in our areas. We are going to be reaching out to the children from our low income families, and hope that we can serve them this year. So that is one of the things that we're working on. More details are going to be coming out very soon about the back to school block party. We are going to need volunteers. So we'll be wearing the masks and we'll be taking all of the safety precautions and keeping our distance. But you know, the more we kept hearing about unemployment in our area and the needs of the families, um, we know that this year more than ever, the parents are going to need the help. And you can certainly help us be a part of that. Another thing that we are working on, you know, I mentioned our YouTube channel. We are taking programs that we have done in person for the last 7 years, and we're translating those into online programs. And so we are recording webinars and we're recording educational modules and developing the curriculum that goes with it. So we're putting all of that together. One of the projects that we launched at the first of the year that we're raising funds for and that's in development is our special program that's called Saving the Saviors. And this is a program for first responders. This is an intensive, advanced, comprehensive, lots of adjectives in there, but it is meant to really get to the heart of the matter, if you will, when it comes to our first responders, and not only their heart health, but their overall health and wellness, their physical health, their mental health. You know, we want to make sure we're addressing those things. And so this program doesn't really exist anywhere else. It's something that we are developing with the help of Carolina Cardiology. And we got off to a really good start at the first of the year with our fundraising campaign. And then, yeah, you know, COVID hit. And so we had a Ed Holler Memorial Clay Shoot scheduled for May, which is now going to be on Friday, October the 23rd. And 100% of what we raise for this pilot program goes to this pilot program. We've even set up a separate bank account for it because it's so important to us. We know that about half of the firefighters that pass away in this country, it's not from their job. It's not job related. It's heart related. It's from heart disease. And that many of them don't even know they have heart disease until it's almost too late. So, this is something that we have felt burdened for, and the Holler family felt burdened to do. And so, we are all working together. So, information is below. If you want to sponsor, sign up a team. We would love to have you. We're going to need volunteers for that too. So make sure you watch out for that information. So, very quickly, in June, just to let you guys know, give you a little bit of a heads up, June is National Men's Health Month. And in June, we really like to focus on issues with heart health with men. And we talk to the women too, because sometimes we're the ones that notice the changes. We notice when something is wrong, and we want women to be aware and to have the opportunity to ask questions. When my husband went through his journey, I learned a lot about men's heart health through him. I'm sure he learned a lot about women's heart health through me. So it's really important that we know that. So right now we are working on scheduling Dr. Sushil Singhi again to do a special doctor chat on sleep apnea. Girls, if your husband snores like a buzz saw, and honestly, if the women snore like buzz saws, but if you snore a lot, if you're not getting a lot of rest, if by 2 o'clock in the afternoon you are crashing, might be time to talk about a sleep study. It really is an important conversation to have, but a lot of us don't understand it, and we don't know what it means or why it's important. So this is something that he specializes in, and I've asked him to do a live doctor chat with us so you can ask your questions. So we're going to be putting that out there. We're nailing down the schedule now, and I will send that out to you. So watch our social media pages. We're really active on Facebook since that's where a lot of our followers are. So make sure you check that out. The other thing I'm really excited about is I have been following this particular cardiologist for some time now. And I know that when it comes to men's heart health, Dr. Joel Kahn, I tell you, his practice in Detroit, this is a big focus for him. He gets it. And he can have some candid conversations, and he can answer your questions. And he is pro calcium scans. He's also just released a new book on lipoprotein little a. And if you're saying, what the heck is that? This is a program you need to watch. So he is going to be our guest on a very special doctor chat on Tuesday, June the 23rd at 6 o'clock. And we'll be sending out the link to that. You will need to register. But we want to have a great turnout. It's for men, it's for women. Ask your questions. Um, he'll answer anything you ask him. But it's really important that we understand men's heart health, and there's so many things there that we can uncover and talk about. And I am super excited to have him as our guest for National Men's Health Month, and we're very honored that he's willing to spend the time with us. So that's a little bit about what we have been doing at the Heart to Heart Foundation. Um, we're working on bringing more of our programs online. And for those of you that are, crossing over into the digital world, you know what a task that is. But it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been challenging, and it's exciting to think that we're reaching a whole new audience. I was telling somebody the other day that, when we used to do our lunch and learns in person, if we had 30 to 50 people there, that was a great crowd. People are taking off work. They're taking their lunch hour, and that would be a great crowd. But this year when we did our lunch and learns online, by the end of the week we had hundreds of people watching and participating in our lunch and learn programs, because you may be live or you may watch it later on, when you have a little downtime. So this is a great opportunity for us. So for those of you who have supported us and encouraged us over the years, thank you so much. And if we can help you in any way, we are happy to do that. If you think of a topic that we can cover on our doctor chat, if you want to know more information about any of our programs, we would love to share that with you too. But I just wanted to say hi, tell you what we've been up to. Thank you for standing with us and for being such great friends to the Heart to Heart Foundation. So, in closing, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but in closing, I just wanted to share something with you. This country's gone through a lot. The world, this has been a global pandemic. The world has gone through a lot, and the last few months have been stressful for people and stressful for families, and some have gone through it worse than others. Some have had, lost loved ones. I have friends who have lost loved ones to COVID. And of course, recent news events, it's a very tumultuous time. And, I think it's this time that some of us will lean on our faith. Some of us, we will look to God for guidance. And I think it's always good for us to remember that a little kindness goes a long, long way. And one of my favorite authors is Maya Angelou, and you will see if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see that I post her quotes quite often. But there is one that, honestly, if I said that the Heart to Heart Foundation had a creed that we try to live by, and that I personally try to live by, it would be this creed. So I just want to close today and share this with you. And just again to say thank you for all that you do and for being there with us. God bless.